Hello, this is Silas. On my way to watch Alien Covenant for the part two of the Alien reboot movies. I like the first one, so I'm just going to check out this next one. I'm going to do like a review after, I guess. And there's probably a few things I'm thinking about with technology and the term alien and how it's used in society today, how it relates to this movie. Alright, bye. Okay, something already happened with technology. I've been checking this week about the movie times online, and it was talking about 10 in the morning. So I went to check at this movie theater that said it was there, but found out that it wasn't there. So now, why didn't I check in the morning? Why didn't I call earlier? So you can say, in that sense, technology, reliance on technology, kind of got me to get to the movie at the wrong time when the movie wasn't showing at that time. But at the movie theater, I thought, okay, let me check and see where it's showing. Found out it's showing somewhere else, just a short walk away. And since I had a lot of the time to watch it, now instead of switching to another time, hours in the future, I could just walk down to this other theater and see it there. So there's the same kind of technology in a way ending up helping you. So I'm just using that as an example just to show that technology is about how you use it, and it's not necessarily just something that's going to take away a massive aspect of our life or grant us another aspect that we don't choose to participate in the movie theater now. Just checking this out. I'm planning on watching this movie, but just wanted to record and show this new advertising thing. I think these are really cool. I wonder what they do with the extra ones after. But I guess most houses don't really have the space to keep something this large in there. But really cool effect how they do the 3D advertising. Yeah. It was a great movie. You should definitely go check it out. If you liked any of the aliens, I think for me, I've actually preferred the Prometheus and Alien Covenant over, I think, any of the other Alien movies. I like what they're doing with this reboot. Definitely a better reboot than, not reboot, or it's definitely a better prelude than the Star Wars movies. But definitely check them out. If you like Prometheus at all, you'll like this. I think it was a good continuation. There's a few things I was thinking of. Like I said, I was going into the movie thinking I'm going to discuss things to do with aliens and artificial intelligence, just from knowing a bit about what these movies are about and just a few things I'd been thinking of. And I had written down some few things, then some drafts of some videos, so I'm going to actually have a separate video on artificial intelligence and a separate video on aliens, what is alien. So you can watch those before this, but I was thinking if I add them into this, it might be too jumbled, so I'm just going to go and discuss the movie itself here. So for spoilers from the break, if you haven't seen this, you should probably not listen to this, or if you want to see it without getting spoilers. But yeah, so I personally liked it. Ridley Scott did a good job. I liked the foreshadowing. I liked the pace of the movie. All in all, I was really entertained by it. I would say the central theme of the movie was creation. From the start, asking what the ultimate question is of who is our creator, how we came to be, and that's kind of why the robots were created, the artificial life forms, which are the cyborgs. They were created to help humanity try to find who created humanity. And you later on find out that one of the things they were told to not do was create. And there's been, I think, there's a current issue in people who deal with artificial intelligence, wondering if artificial intelligence will actually destroy humanity. It's okay. When artificial intelligence does not necessarily have to destroy humanity, it's not even a destroy situation. I like how they handled that in the movie, how it goes with humans create these robots or these artificial intelligences, and then those artificial intelligences find the beings who may be responsible for creating humanity, and then they take that technology from those beings and kind of create a hybrid of humanity and this weapon. But this is going to be an AI video where I'm discussing where I actually think what if it gets to the point where humans create what is all in all a life form that's actually superior to humanity, then is it really evil or bad or unexpected for that life form to succeed more than humanity, to succeed past humanity? I mean, we kind of do that on a daily basis when we reproduce. We create a life form that's a copy of you and the genetics of the partner that you have, and that life form in general is an improvement on the two of you, and it definitely, I mean, not definitely, but you hope that it outlives you and continues that process. So we have that limited aspect in our lives. And I think David says, if you're my creator and you're going to die, I'm going to continue after you, I won't die. I know he says that, but technically he could still die. I mean, AIs could still die. And speaking of AIs could still die, I'm not going to do this like a really projecting straight on movie review. But for me, the second once they got to the planet, first of all, I don't understand why they went to the planet. There's a couple of things. I was thinking in the future, if you were this far ahead in the future, I think the average IQ of the people would be higher. So why would people be doing some of the same stupid moves that we do? Like, oh, let's just go check out this planet on the side here. Like, no, don't check out that planet. If they do go check out the planet, why get out there without the suits, without the protective suits? I know in Prometheus, they were talking about, okay, they took off the suits too early. But in this one, they just didn't even have the suits on to begin with. And the way religion and relationships are treated, they have the person kind of break down when the husband dies, which is James Franco's character, which I think is a really good job. I think I saw this in one of the previews. I'm going to double check, but they had a preview with, I think, James Franco's character talking to the crew. And I was thinking, why don't they do more of this with movies? If you're going to shoot a movie, why don't you shoot a preview scene that's not even in the movie? I mean, I think they did this, and if they didn't do this, or came up with this idea, it's the first place you heard it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it costs that much more to actually have a preview scene that's not in the actual movie. And that kind of gives people an ability to be attracted to your movie without having a spoiler. But anyway, so character dies off the break. You see the breakdown of the character, and then the religious character takes over, and he's talking about how religions kind of looked on in a very suspicious manner in this future, which kind of makes sense to me. I can see that happening. But a few things, okay, the lower IQ and emotional decision making that some of these people make to go down to the planet. Another thing, the first people who get infected, one of them gets infected by just rubbing this bulb thing and inhaling the spores. The other one says, I'm going to take a leak, and then smokes some cigarettes and steps on some things, spores going to his ear. First of all, why are people still smoking cigarettes? That's one thing. I mean, I know cigarettes not the worst thing ever, but vaping is already going on right now. I can't imagine that you're going to be having people flying to other universes still smoking cigars and cigarettes. I just don't see it happening, but that's just me. Okay, then once the infection starts spreading, it seems like in certain movies, people haven't seen movies, I mean, this is a recurring thing. It's like when you get on a planet and somebody's just randomly sick, you're going to go into quarantine protocols ASAP. I don't imagine people are going to be like carrying somebody back who's coughing on them. Like the second that person coughed up on that one lady who was doing the biosamples, I think that would have been game over. That guy would have been left outside the ship until somebody came in. I mean, these guys had to have been practiced on this. You're not just going to send people out that don't know these things. But again, I know this is a film. You got to have the suspension of disbelief. And in that aspect, they set it up pretty well. I was going wrong with the pacing. There's just a few things were kind of taking me out of there. Now, let's talk about the creatures themselves, the aliens. And I think a good thing about this was, in the movie, they were actually, the creation thing, was also the creation of the aliens themselves, and also the aliens that we make, which are now the cyborgs. So it was a situation of aliens, both the different forms of aliens, which I think that was a good thing of seeing how that virus infects different organisms and creates different forms of aliens. And then we see now David, which was the version 1 of these cyborgs, and Walter, who's the upgraded version, meet. And once they got to the planet, and he lost his hand, and really cool battle scenes, the creature effects were awesome. I really like that. But okay, the second they got to the island, I keep saying the island because it seems like an island. I think it's kind of going out to space, island kind of themes. But no, okay, so they get to the planet, David ends up saving them, taking them to the city of these aliens. I don't know if they ever named these aliens. The engineers, I'd say, the city of the engineers, which are the alien life forms that apparently seeded the Earth, which is what I seem to understand from Prometheus. But they also invented the weapons that creates the xenomorphs. Which, wow, the xenomorphs were really, really well done in this film. Um, so you have them get to that planet, and the second they get there, David was really acting a bit off. So I was already a bit suspicious about him, and I was like, okay, that's something's off about this cyborg, and just even sitting on the island again, sitting on the planet for that long without anybody checking on him. It's like, okay, something bad could be happening with this guy's mind. But they get to the point where the second he cuts his hair, I'm like, okay, he cuts his hair. There's going to be a point where he's going to chop his arm off and try to sneak onto the ship as Walter. Now, I didn't know how that was going to happen, and there was a couple of times in the movie where they kept going, because it happened pretty early, and then it didn't seem like it was going to happen, and then there was some back and forth, so I was thinking, okay, maybe he might actually not do that, but yeah, end up sneaking back on the ship, and towards the end, that was a really good reveal. I like how they revealed that, even though I think with the high processing of David, maybe he wanted to show her at that point, he wanted to kind of expose himself and say, yes, it's me, and this is what I've done, like, I'm going to be successful, but I think he would have been smart enough to pick up on that, on her mannerisms and the way she asked the question about the cabin. I think he would have picked up on that and be like, I'll build that cabin with you. You know, I mean, I think he should have been smart enough to do that. So all in all, great movie. This is one of the challenges of things to do when you're creating a movie based in the future, or when you have alien beings or this kind of high technology. Just the questioning of what do you think is going to change in society when you get to that kind of point? Like, are we still going to have the same relationships, same relationships with each other, or the same religion? Are the people going to be the same? You know, I mean, it's easy to change. Well, it's not even easy, but it's easy. It's easier to imagine different changes in what people are going to wear, what people are going to eat. But how would it be if a society just had far higher IQ? Like right now, you have some cultures, some places where the average IQ is about 85 or even lower. Then you have some places where the average IQ is 120. And that really changes what the people in those places can do. Now imagine a future where we've lived, the human race, I mean IQ ostensibly continues to grow, and you get to a point where the average IQ in the world is about 150. Let's say you had something like that. And there was this video I'll leave a link to in the low bar showing that the actual things that are being done with genetics right now, you could actually wipe out lower IQ people. So, I mean, not wipe out, it's not going to be like final solution type thing, like put them in but it's just through genetic gene therapy, you'll be able to actually select for which genes show up, so you can have everybody be 6 foot tall at least, and then have everybody have 150 IQ, or whichever is the most preferential features. You can actually select for those and have a populace where a good percentage of the population has this. Now, when you have this, where does it get to the point where it changes from being a human being to being an alien, or to being a cyborg, or to being another creature? When do you stop being human? And I don't think you really stop, just like we are a continuation from, I guess, the microbes. I know they start saying these things about like the random selection that led to humanity. I don't think it's random. There's a process towards this. You don't necessarily have to have a cognizant creator for something to not be random. I mean, it follows a certain steps, and there's certain rules and laws of physics and just reality that I think things have to adhere to in a certain way. So I guess that was one of the tropes, the way humans just randomly created. There was a bit of the Ridley action with, I think it was a nice balanced cast. I don't think there was it didn't seem to be any just affirmative action hires, or let's just throw this person in there, let's just have this ultra-powered minority or female just to kind of give a shout out. It didn't really seem like they were pandering to any single demographic. It was just, yeah, this is a pretty good movie, let's put it together. And that might be something to do with Ridley Scott and his politics, or just his technique, or just it being a future world where we're kind of beyond some of these things. But all in all, great film. I guess that's the end of this review, or whatever this video was. I hope you enjoyed it. Please check out the videos with artificial intelligence and aliens. I'll try to release those in the next couple of days. Those ones just with different thoughts that I had over those two things, and kind of relating to what I saw in this movie. And it's been interesting. I think my life's been kind of, and that's the thing. These things might seem random, but I don't think it's that random that something in me, from the interests that I had and the ideas that are going on in my mind, made me think, okay, this is a movie that I should watch. Or possibly just the general ideas that I've had in my mind and experiences have led me to the situation where I like the Alien series enough, or I like the way Ridley Scott works enough, that I like Prometheus, that I thought, okay, yeah, I should actually watch this movie, and I finally got to watch it this week while also drafting these other stories or these other ideas coming by. So when you look at it from the outset, I could be like, oh, it's really random that I watched this movie, and then it has something to do with the things that I'm drafting or the other thoughts that I'm having in my life. But I don't think that's random, and that's what I'm trying to say when it comes with the creation of humanity. I don't think it's just randomness, even if you don't have that God figure, or I wouldn't say God figure because I'm talking about the supernatural thing, or the theology type things. But yeah, so before I keep rambling more, I'm going to piece these little clips together and have this review, and hope you liked it. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me know if you watched the movie. Let me know if you had any thoughts about some of the things that I mentioned in it. But yeah, till next time. Bye. Okay, just one last thing I gotta add. The creature stuff was super amazing. I really liked seeing the actual, like, the different kind of the different alien hybrids, and going and seeing the actual deaths and everything, and of course the reveal of the final xenomorph, the one that we're used to with the black carapace and everything, coming out with David standing up, like, you know how when humans found their creator, they're like, okay, they were giants, and then now the alien comes out, and he comes out less face huggerish. I mean, I remember with the face hugger from the first one, the face hugger went on to the cyborg, and it came out and was this kind of little snake thing, and was like running around like first, and then it came out and slowly turned into like the xenomorph thing. But this time it came out as an old mini xenomorph, and did the whole like hands up thing. That was a really cool scene. I like that. And then actually seeing like the final full on xenomorph, and actually not having to just be this like invincible alien, like, okay, yeah, we're through past spoilers. Like, this is scene with it actually dying and everything. And I'm super excited for the next one. And I just saw the things that said, okay, the next one is probably going to be the one that connects it to Alien. So I'm really excited to see what they do with this. It's the kind of thing where you kind of know, as it's a prequel, you know they're not going to wipe off all the aliens because they have to get to the point where Alien is there. Now I'm also interested to see what they're going to do after this. Is it just going to be like, okay, we're done once we connect it back to the other series? I don't know. Pretty awesome series. Liked it, enjoyed it, and yeah, bye.